wellness revolution starts now.
Hello, I'm Dr. Steve Hotze, and welcome to today's program. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Sue Yackell.
Hi.
Who's been a long-time guest here at the Hotze Health and Wellness Center since 2009. And she's got really an amazing story to tell. Now, share with us what you and your husband have been doing over your married life. What are y'all involved in?
Well, we pastored a church. Well, we actually served in the church for 20 years. And then...
Now, what church was that?
It was a non-denominational church.
Right. Bible church.
Oh, Bible church, yes, definitely. And God just told us we started having meetings in our home, and we didn't know we were pastoring. And the Lord just told us to start doing it every week. So we had church in our home for 8 years. And then we ended up getting a building. And we had a building for 5 years.
Now, where was this located?
On Westheimer.
Really?
Across the street from West
What
Oaks
was the
Mall.
name of the church?
Flowing Rivers.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name of our ministry. It's
Right.
Flowing Rivers Ministry. And then the Lord told us to close the church and go on the road and preach. And we didn't have a clue what we were doing. We don't even know how to go on the road and preach. But God has opened lots of doors.
Now, when was that? When did you all...
6 years ago now.
You started doing that, huh?
Yes. And so God has really opened doors. We go to Kentucky, Ohio, Michigan, Alabama, and God has opened many doors. We minister to in 4 different places in Kentucky. We just got back in October.
Now, do you go to churches there? Or?
We go to churches there. Sometimes we have home meetings. Whatever God opens up. We just got back. We went to, a couple weeks ago, we went to Alabama, and there's a church. I met this lady in a restaurant. We started talking, and we preached in their church 5 different times.
Wow.
It's just God just opened up doors, and they're really open and loving and receptive to us, and we just be obedient to whatever God says. Last weekend, we did a play where I was Mary and Ray was Pilate. And it's an outdoor play where the life of Jesus, there's 9 scenes, and I narrate the life of Jesus, and he's Pilate, and he, crucifies Jesus, and then there's the cross. They have the whole resurrection scene, and it's 44 people got saved.
Wow.
It was really awesome. 400 people went through it.
That's wonderful.
It's awesome. We love it.
Now, where was that?
That was in Cleburne, Texas.
Wow.
It's just a small little country town,
Sure.
but they set it all up, and we go and serve.
Well, tell me now, what brought you originally here to the center back in 2009?
I had a hysterectomy, and I started getting very edgy, and just something was not working right. And a friend...
Now, you were how old when you had your hysterectomy?
52.
And had you gone through the change at all?
No, not at all. But it threw me right into that. And so I actually could feel pins and needles on my arms, and it was really bad. But when I came here in 2009, what I really love about this clinic about you guys is that you listen to us. You don't just want to give us drugs, you listen to what we're going through. And it was a process. I slowly got on hormones and balanced everything in my body, and it really helped a lot.
Okay, your symptoms were at that time, you were having mood swings,
not sleeping, and then eventually I was getting night sweats and...
How about your energy level?
Extremely low, because I didn't know my thyroid was very low too. I didn't know that, because you guys are so thorough.
Right.
And I didn't know that I needed thyroid or anything like that. And I also got my husband to come. It took me about 5 years, and he's totally different. He is so strong, and he's 72. And we just had at Father's Day, the pastor said, we're gonna have a competition on the stage. And my husband picked strength, and he did 34 push-ups in front of the whole church at 72. He beat a man that was in his 40s. And it's because you guys listen to us, and you give us what we need for strength and for our bodies, and I'm very thankful for that.
Well, I know when you started, we started you on some natural thyroid hormone replacement to help bolster your metabolism, increase your energy production in your cells, which is what thyroid does. Thyroid is like a spark plug inside your cells, which enable the power plants in your cells to produce energy. And it's electrical energy, and we're really a bundle of electricity. and we don't want to be low. What happens is we age, our hormone levels go down, thyroid levels tend to decline, and our metabolism goes down, and we produce low levels of energy. So we get to be low voltage. That's what you see in people as they age. They're just low energy, low voltage. And that's because their hormone levels have declined. And what we simply do is replenish, and we did that with you. We gave you some thyroid, got your metabolism up, and we also put you on some natural progesterone, which help balance things out. I don't. Did we at that time put you on any estrogen at all?
Yeah, I went on some estrogen too.
And so that took away the night sweats and the hot
all
flashes.
That. Yeah, I didn't have any of that after.
And so you felt really
much
good.
Better. Yes. Well, see, and I was a teacher. You need all the energy you have when you're a teacher. So it really helped a lot, and just everything, even the supplements, everything. So
we got you on a good healthy eating program.
Yes.
We got you on thyroid, natural female hormones, gave you some vitamins and minerals, which helps you detox. The whole goal of our program, really, Sue, and those who are out in the listening audience, is to enable you to produce energy within your cells. All good health is based upon energy production. It's like a car. If you've got an 8-cylinder car and you only have 6 spark plugs, it runs rough. It'll run with 6 spark plugs, but it won't fire well. It'll miss and it won't get to top speed. It'll just kind of plug along. That's the same thing as we age. Our hormone levels go down. So our power plants in our cells just don't produce enough energy. Our goal is to help you eat right, get the right hormones, thyroid and your female hormones, get you on some vitamins and minerals so your cells will produce energy and get your energy level up. And then all of a sudden you have energy and you have vitality and you've got enthusiasm for life. So instead of just kind of fading away, you and your husband are just continuing in your ministry.
It amazes me that at our age, we're traveling, we're in the car, we're in other states. It's amazing me that I've asked God recently, like, how much longer am I going to do this? And no answer. So I guess I'm going to continue just doing it. And I'm thankful that I have the energy. I'm thankful that I can do it. I'm very thankful because I'm supposed to do the things of God, you know?
Amen. That's wonderful. And that's what we really want for everybody that comes to see us. We particularly we help everybody, but I particularly love to help those that are serious Christians because I know that we've got a fight on our hands here in our country.
We're in a spiritual battle.
We're in a spiritual battle, and Christians need to be fortified, health-wise, not only spiritually, not only in the Word of God, not only mentally, but also physically. You've got to be strong because we've got a battle ahead of us, and to stand against the forces of darkness that seem to want to invade our country. Well, we can stand up. So I admire you and I'm glad you're still out there in the fight.
We're still doing it.
That's wonderful. Now, you ended up, you told me a couple of years ago you had a little setback with some digestive problems. Tell us about that.
So last November, I decided to do a liver cleanse, a natural liver cleanse that basically blew up my system. And
That's great.
I got really, really sick.
Were we the ones that recommended that?
No, not at all. This was my Ray just kind of does what Sue tells him to do with that kind of stuff. So we did this. All we did was it was orange juice, lemon, turmeric and garlic. And what it did, I don't know what happened, but it blew up something in my system. And so I got really sick from November till like June.
And you ended up having a lot of weight loss too at that time.
I lost like 30 pounds because I couldn't eat. I was afraid to eat.
That's a heck of a way to go on.
No, it's not. No, it's not a good way. And see, I thought I was having a heart attack. I went to the emergency room twice. I went to the clinics, the ones that are open up 24 hours. Yeah. I went to those twice. And so every time they did my blood work, though, they said, your blood work is amazing. Why are you here? And I'm going, well, because I didn't realize a lot of people have digestive issues. Right. A lot of people. And so I kept calling here. You guys are amazing. I talked to the nurses so much from probably January till like April, because you have contact when you're a patient here or a guest here, you have access to the nursing staff, and they're amazing. They helped so much. I did go on nystatin and I did yeast-free because I really thought it was yeast overgrowth, which it was yeast overgrowth too. I know it was yeast overgrowth too, but I didn't realize it. So, and I never had Jason is the person I go to but he was new here, so he never met me, but he knew a lot about me because I kept calling. And so what I ended up doing was I went to a gastroenterologist. Oh, I went to my regular doctor first, and my regular doctor didn't help me at all. Basically, she said, we'll just say you have IBS, and I'm not going to do any tests, just see you. I was very upset with that because I was
IBS is
irritable bowel
syndrome.
And that's what she just said I had. She wouldn't even help me at all. And so that was very upsetting. And so I eventually went to a gastroenterologist, and he had an ultrasound done. He gave me an ultrasound, and I had found out that I had, and he made me do a breath test. I found out you can do the breath test here, but I didn't know this till after. So I had to blow into 10 tubes and found out that the hydrogen in my stomach, it's supposed to be less than 20, and mine was 66. So I had SIBO, which I've never heard of SIBO.
Which is small intestine
bacteria overgrowth. And see, that was, every time I ate, I was sick. And so what happened is I went on peptides, and I went on a FODMAP diet. Basically,
and a FODMAP diet is a diet where you eliminate foods that are high in certain sugars, oligosaccharides, monosaccharides, disaccharides, and they're easily fermented by these bacteria in the small intestine. You shouldn't have any bacteria in your small intestine.
No.
But yours had some overgrowth just because, I don't know, whatever you set off, maybe when you did the liver cleanse or something, but you got some overgrowth. Those bacteria belong in the large intestine, but sometimes they back up into the small intestine, and they cause some problems as they ferment sugars, just like yeast does, and that causes a whole host of stomach problems, bloating, belching, gas, indigestion,
diarrhea.
Yeah.
It was bad. I was so sick. We kept ministering. I would just go sick. I would minister. I would go to my grandkids' baseball games. I just pushed through it, even though I was sick most of the time.
So you got on the eating program, the FODMAP eating program, which eliminated these simple sugars and wheat.
Yes, yeah, but see, I don't eat a lot of bread anyways, a lot of that stuff anyways. But so I did all that, and then the peptides is what healed my gut. I was on 3 different peptides.
You got those here at the pharmacy.
I got them here. And that's what healed my gut, because now I can eat anything. And I'm very thankful. I was so afraid. You slowly introduce food, because I was afraid, because every time I ate, I was sick. But I can eat now. And
so it took how long?
It took about 8 weeks.
Yeah, well, that's good.
To just totally feel better. And then I would just slowly, even my husband, he was worried. He'd say, are you sure you want to eat that? Because he knew how sick I was. I was so sick that sometimes I couldn't get out of bed. I was really sick. But the fact that I could call here and just know that you would listen and help me, it was like a lifeline for me. And not only that, it gave me more compassion. Like when I go, my husband and I minister, I have so much more compassion for people that are sick. Because I've learned I never had to stand in faith for anything. And to have to stand in faith for my health was a really big deal. So now I have more compassion when I pray for other people that are sick. I get it now more.
It's amazing when if you don't have certain problems and you hear other people with problems, you tend to discount them.
Yes, you do. You really do.
How could it be?
Yes. It can't be that bad.
Right.
But boy.
I'll tell you, I injured my back falling off a horse about 1.5 years ago, and so I've had some back issues with that. I never had back issues before in my entire life, but I now appreciate people that have back issues, because it can be...
especially if it's your lower back. It can be so painful.
It can be very disconcerting. So I appreciate all, you hear about people getting a car wreck and then they go and they're sued because they have back problems.
Yes.
Well, I can understand I can understand why people do that, because it can be debilitating, really. So I'm so glad that our physician's assistant, Jason Gerlos, was able to get you on the eating program, the FODMAP, getting rid of the disaccharides and the wheat, and you took that seriously. Besides that, you did a yeast-free eating program, and you've done well, and you've done well overall. Now you've been here 14 years.
Yes.
And you're still ministering for Christ around the country.
Absolutely, and still continuing.
That's
I won't be stopping.
That's wonderful. Well, I want to thank you so much for sharing your story with us, Sue. And for any one of you out there who has got health issues, and you've been going to the conventional doctors, and they don't seem to want to listen, and they maybe want to just give you a pill and say, good luck, call me if you have any more problems, and you don't feel like you're getting taken care of, or they've got you on a potload of pills and you still feel like the more you take, you get sicker quicker. Well, I want to encourage you to give us a call here at the Hotze Health and Wellness Center. As a matter of fact, I want to give you a copy of my book. If you'll just give us a call here to the number on the screen and say you heard Dr. Hotze's podcast, I've got a book, Hormones, Health, and Happiness. This was my first book, and this will give you good insight into how we address health problems naturally. So as you mature, you have energy and vitality and enthusiasm for life, and you're healthy and well as you mature. We want you to have a good health span, not a lifespan, but a health span. If you're going to be alive, for crying out loud, you ought to be healthy and well.
Yes, and enjoy it.
And enjoy it, right?
And not just say you're retired and you can sit home and do nothing.
Well, you're not doing that, ma'am.
No, I'm not.
Well, thank you again,
Thank
Sue,
you.
for joining us, and thank each one for each one of you joining us today on our program. We appreciate it and look forward to hearing from you. If we can, give us a call. Thanks.
At Physicians Preference Pharmacy, we understand that the quality of your compounded medications directly affects the way you feel, which is why we believe that your pharmacy should specialize in compounding medications while also delivering extraordinary hospitality and guest service. We believe that both patients and prescribers should accept nothing less than consistency and quality from their compounding pharmacy. This is why we've implemented some of the strictest quality standards in compounding, exceeding standard requirements, achieving PCAB accreditation, which is the Pharmacy Compounding Accreditation Board, an organization that sets the highest standards in compounding pharmacy regarding the safety, cleanliness, and quality of your compounded prescriptions. Because of our commitment to complete health and wellness, we are dedicated to making your medications free of lactose, parabens, artificial sweeteners, and any unnecessary dyes, binders, or fillers present in many other medications, offering you the cleanest products possible.
Information provided on this program is neither intended nor implied to be a substitute for professional medical advice and is not intended to replace the services of a physician, nor does it constitute a doctor-patient relationship. You should not use information from this radio program to diagnose or treat a health problem or disease without consulting with a qualified healthcare provider. If you have or suspect you have an urgent medical problem, promptly contact a professional healthcare provider or call 911. Dr. Hotze's Wellness Revolution advises you to always seek the advice of a physician or other qualified health provider prior to starting any new treatment or with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Any application of the recommendations from this program is at the listener's discretion.